oven with Oxy-Dry, and Sunday afternoon, a beautiful day, uh, and did some um, worked on my sprinkler system a little bit. Had to adjust the spray, and sat down, had lunch with my wife, and we were having a conversation because we actually talk to each other. She's actually my secret weapon. She's my partner in the business, and when I started 25 years ago, um, of course, she had absolutely no experience in business matters at all. But over the years, I gave her more and more responsibility. I taught her some things that I knew, and then she kind of took and run with it. And now she pretty much runs the business. I have the final say, I guess, because she's not take take over kind of a person at all. But her input, insight into things, she does actually answer the phone and does the bookings, and is very much involved in the developing of any of the marketing that we do. Because as over the years that she has talking with people on the phone, she's really been able to understand how people think, how the customers think, and that's a very very important aspect of knowing your business is getting into your customer's head. I think that a lot of carpet cleaners, I have observed that most carpet cleaners, it seems, all they're really concerned about is what other carpet cleaners think about them or their method or their marketing or whatever. And you're not selling your service to other carpet cleaners. They're usually your competition, right? Your customer, that person that lives in the house down the road there, that's the person who you need to understand. Um, and so over the years, my wife was in her conversations with people on the phone. She's listened very carefully to what people say. You need to listen to what people are saying to understand what their needs are and what they want. And so we have really learned from interacting with the customer to, particularly in the way that we word things in our advertising, and when my wife is talking on the phone, um, everything that's said, pardon me, is very important. Um, that it has to be understood, but it has to be clear, and it has to be honest, absolutely. And but that wasn't really what I wanted to actually talk about. What I wanted to talk about here, in the next minute or two, or 10, or whatever it takes me, is in our conversation that we had, we talked about what is the most important, what is the most foundational thing that you can bring to your carpet cleaning business that is essential, that is the foundation upon which everything else builds when you're a full-time professional carpet cleaner. And I realized that I don't think I've ever really touched on this, because as we were talking about it, I suddenly realized, oh, it's so obvious, and yet it's pretty much overlooked by a great many carpet cleaners. So I'm going to give you guys, particularly you new guys, some of you older guys too, my thought on what is the most important lesson that I have learned, that I apply every day, every week, every month, and every year in my business, that has an impact on everything that I do. It is the foundation of everything, and I'm sitting in it. Um, this is my work van. You don't go anywhere without your vehicle. Well, unless you have a horse and buggy, which I doubt you do. This is my toolbox, and I realize that many carpet cleaners don't have their vehicle organized. Um, and if you are full time in this business, the vehicle that you're using every day should be, really must be, dedicated for your business. This is your income, your everyday going out there cleaning people's carpets, and your vehicle needs to be dedicated to your craft, to your trade, because you're a tradesman, and really it shouldn't be one day I'm cleaning carpets, the next day I'm doing something else, and you're pulling everything out. And sometimes, I mean, I actually occasionally will do that with my van, but almost entirely this van is, because I only have the one van plus a little car. I took a bunch of stuff to the dump a few weeks ago, so I pulled the stuff out of the back and put a tarp in there and took the stuff to the dump, cleaned it out. It was a good excuse to give it a really good cleaning in the back anyways, because it needed that. So, but my point is that your vehicle really needs to be dedicated to what you're doing day by day, week by week, month by month, and year by year. And first of all, make it organized. Put things in a way into your vehicle so that you know exactly where everything is, and put it back in the same place all the time. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was 14, 15, 16 years old, my dad did carpet cleaning, and he used the Von Schroeder system. Some of you guys know what that is, other ones don't. Doesn't really matter, but it's a dry foam machine. And my dad was so disorganized at everything that he did, and I guess it really bugged me way back then. I think about it now and then too, because here I am talking about it. One of the things he would do is, we're going out the door to go and do a day's worth of work, and that was when he would go grab the Von Schroeder machine, bring it into the house, take it into the bathroom, put it in the bathtub, and do its maintenance cycle in the bathtub. My poor mom, because he never cleaned up afterwards. And if you know anything about Von Schroeder machines, that's something that you actually really need to do all the time. But he wouldn't do it the night before, rarely. It was just always, last minute, gotta get this done, because he always had other things that he was always doing. And that's the other aspect, is to be focused on what you do. But, and then in the back of the vehicle, we actually, believe it or not, we used pickup trucks. My dad had a Ford Courier pickup truck with a canopy on it, and that was the work vehicle rather than a van. I don't know why he chose those, but of course the only way you can get at equipment is you got to open up the lift gate on the canopy, and then the gate on the back of the bed drop down, and you have to kind of crawl into the stupid thing to get anything that was at the back. And my dad never ever had that thing, the back of those vehicles, compartmentalized with pieces of plywood or whatever. In other words, you're driving down the road and stuff would be sliding back and forth, and jugs of solution would be rolling around, and you get to the job and it's like, okay, where is everything? He was never organized. It was just sort of organized. It was just sort of chucked in there, and it was always a mayhem, and it's like, we get to the job and, I forgot to bring such and such. Well, why did you forget? Because you didn't know it was there, or didn't know it was missing. And so being organized, and I guess that's really, it always bugged me. And so when I developed this business, one of the things I learned really quickly was to be very organized in my vehicle, because I've almost always worked alone, and organization is critical to being efficient and to not waste your time looking for something that you put somewhere where it shouldn't have been, and then you need it and you can't find it, and you waste time trying to find it, or you don't realize you're out of something because you weren't paying attention to how much was left. And that brings me kind of to the next step. I mean, besides organizing your van and having it set up in a systematic way, and always putting things back in the same place, having everybody's going to set their van up a little bit different, but make sure that it's done in a way that it's ergonomically best suited for you and what you're doing. But the other thing is that it's a Sunday, and every weekend, almost every weekend, I will make a point of spending an hour or two going through my van and making sure, because there's things that have to be done. I'll make sure I load up my solutions, restock stuff that I'm low or out of. Of course, I'm washing my pads. That happens at least once a week. They go into the house and are laundered and brought back out, and um, making sure equipment is in good shape, making sure it's clean, not filthy. You shouldn't, if you're a carpet cleaner, why are you taking a dirty machine into somebody's house? You're supposed to be a cleaner. And so should your vehicle. I'd actually just wash my van. Just sitting in it right now, just after washing it. Um, so it's really important to take that time whenever like I come home at the end of the day, and my normal routine is once I get home, um, if I've used my upholstery machine, I'm gonna dump out the recovery tank. I'm gonna wash it out, get it ready for the next day. I check my spotters, make sure whatever I've used up, I reload. Just constantly make sure that I don't have to deal with those things when I'm out there on the road the following day. I mean, I should have myself all set up for each day before I even get there. The other thing I always do is I've gotten into the habit of on the weekend, I'll go and load my van up with gas. And my van will go all week with, usually I might use about maybe 3/4 of a tank, if that, depending how much I drive, obviously. But the weekend is when I fill it up, so I don't have to do it during the day, during the week, between jobs. And all these little things actually do make a difference. Especially if you work alone, your time is precious, your energy is precious. Just having that aspect of the business, always just get it organized and keep it organized, because day in, day out, week after week, month after month, you're doing this work and you want to make it as easy as possible on yourself. Um, and if you do that, it lowers your stress level. And being organized is a much better way to go about it. I mean, women are good at organizing. I'm not saying your wife should organize your van, though. That's a whole other subject. But most women, if you've noticed, when you go into the kitchen, they've got a system of where the plates go, the cutlery goes, and knives go here, forks go there, the cups go in this place, and the plates go over there, and everything. And you know, us guys, as men, we walk into the kitchen, and of course, we know where most everything is, except for that funny baking stuff where they hide that. But you know what I mean? And it's so nice to be able to open the drawer. It's like, oh, what do you know? The knives are still where they were last time. Open the cupboard door. It's like, oh, glasses. I know where they go. They go right here. And if you put it in the wrong place, you're going to hear about it, aren't you? And yet, here we are every day working with our vehicles. And a lot of us guys, I mean, I don't do this, but a lot of guys do have a tendency to just open the door, throw something in there, and wherever it lands is where it is. And the next time you go to try and find it, where did I put that thing again? Anyway, you get my point. The point is that the most important thing that you can do to be successful in your business is start with the most basic of things. And the most basic of things is this toolbox that you're driving around in all day long. Keep it organized, keep it clean. Um, at the end of the day or every week or whatever it is, make sure that if equipment is beginning to show signs of wear and tear, you maintain it. If you've got something as simple as I guess a couple of weeks ago, one of the grounding prong on one of my machines popped off. I fixed it the next day. Will it work without it? Absolutely, absolutely, it will work without it. But that grounding pin is there for a reason, and if you got afraid cord or something like that, fix it. Don't use your machine until you're actually shorting out, because electricity will kill you, right? So, and keep it clean. Don't go walking into your customer's house with crap all over your machine. I remember a while back, I watched a video of a certain individual using a certain orbital machine. Some of you know exactly who I'm talking about. And the first video I saw of him, I was absolutely shocked at how filthy, I mean, absolutely filthy that machine was. And he was talking about how he was so, I don't know, he's almost proud of the fact that he'd been using this machine for so long and it was still running. And even though it was just covered with crap and carpet fibers and everything, and he was saying how sometimes it would actually drop pieces of rust onto the carpet. Oh my goodness me, what a terrible reflection on this business that somebody would go out and be so um, just hokey at it. I mean, wow, I was just almost embarrassed to say that he was a carpet cleaner, because that is not a good image that we as carpet cleaners want to portray. We need to be organized and keep our equipment clean. And by the way, we should shave. I didn't shave this morning; it's my day off. Shave. Um, have a uniform. Don't go out with cutoffs and tattered jeans, and look like a professional. Act like a professional. Start with the foundation of your van being organized and clean, and your equipment clean and operating 100% all the time. And let's all raise the standard. But I wanted to give you that advice about the just keeping your vehicle in order, because you'll find it'll be a lot easier for you in the long run. And that whole attitude should permeate everything that you do. So I guess that's all I wanted to say today. And thank you.